Well, it's been a minute since I've been able to make the videos. My last video was in Mexico. Here I am in the United States on this journey. About to go pick up my boy. I'm in the big truck, flatbed, and out right now just doing a little bit of stretching and grounding. I'm just sharing my experience to my other brothers and sisters around the world. Hope you guys are doing well on your journey. It's a very interesting, strange in a sense journey, and I know even my brothers and sisters that are just psychic Christian type, whether they're considered Holy Spirit filled, which my best friend, which man, he truly does have a beautiful spirit. I know he's chosen. He doesn't understand our journey. He doesn't understand Gnosis. He hasn't had the time really to get into it. Yeah, I mean, obviously the archons have us very busy, distracted with just trying to work and provide. My friend's a Texas Ranger as well. I mean, he works for the state. He's in a high position of authority, very high position. My best man from almost 22 years ago, when my wife and I got married. And he's super passionate. He's gonna retire like in 7 years, early retirement. We met in Bible school actually, and he wants to get to his calling, reaching the lost Mexico. Feels super passionate and called to it. I got to share with him about Gnosis. He did tell me he thinks it's he did say he believes that these are the lost words, and that they're texts that are sacred, but he did say he does think that maybe they're not fully necessary. They haven't been verified, and I didn't really have a lot of time with them, only a few hours each evening. I'm the type that I can't, whenever I'm talking with someone, I don't think of everything I should say at that moment or all the questions they all kind of come to me afterwards. Gotta get going again. Been out here just grounding and stretching, doing whatever I gotta do which is very rare. I'm using everything available to me for my health, for my demiurge body, because it is why we're here, We're here for times, and these times and dimensions and seasons, to awaken others. But yeah, going back to my friend, so yeah, he's saying that thinks it brings confusion. He's doesn't think it's really too necessary. I just listened a lot for the most part to him, and then I actually would kind of answer him like the next day, say, hey, I thought about what you're saying. I just all I could do is share my own experience, my own testimony in a sense. And I just told him how, and he does agree, we are a fragment. We are like pure spirit, because even in Bible school we learn we are spirit. We have a soul and we live in a body. But for me, that's not quite what helps. Doesn't really serve. It does in a sense. It added a lot of value to my life, but what really adds value to my life is the Gnostic sword. What I heard the other day on a video, first time I heard it that termed like that. But the Gnostic sword, which is every Gnostic sword is, and I knew it too, because it's what I've been doing. It's small awakenings, moment by moment, that equal the greater awakening. But it's like pausing, creating stillness in between your thoughts, not your thoughts, but the thoughts that come randomly to you, even in the moments where it could be, well, obviously it's always usually external. You know, it could be anything that causes you to either to react. But instead of reacting, you respond. And first, before you even respond, you put silence. You create a barrier of silence. You know, you don't accept the thought. You know, and basically, anytime like something comes or I'm listening to someone, and it's very distracting, and it's like, you know, the idea is for me to try to identify with those distractions, those thoughts, and claim them and then become them. But instead, I'm like, I'm pure light, Father. I'm one with you, with mother, father, child, all of us, one. You know, that's who I am. I'm pure light. And every time I do, it really does. It takes me away from those distractions, and I'm constantly remembering who I am. And in the end, the true value is that I never identify nor become those thoughts, those distractions, those false identities. And I'm developing, I guess a way to put it would be a muscle, you know, like to where I'm building a habit, a constant remembering. Instead of perpetual forgetting, it's like perpetual remembering, you know, who I am. Constantly remembering who I am instead of constantly forgetting. So it's been very interesting. It's actually exciting, you know, like I should be smiling more right now. I am a little, you know, this running truck like I do, just whew. Plus I got into flatbed. I saw an opportunity I could not pass up, and I took like 2 to 3 days to like to see if it was really for me, like to make sure I could take the challenge on. Because I did a little flatbed in the oil field for like 10 years ago, and I wasn't sure, so I watched a bunch of videos, and just to see, it's all about securement of the load. So I wanted to make sure I was confident, and I had just, you know, beyond peace about it. I knew it's all step by step. I've taken on every challenge because it's like literally double to almost triple what any other trucking's paying right now, which even those are good paying, you know, like the minimum would be like 8,000 a month right now. So I'm like basically double, maybe not, well, actually not triple. I said double to triple. No, not triple, and not quite maybe double, but close to double actually, you know, for every month. So I'm buying back time like no other. And what was even crazier, a little testimony on that, is the way that I did my due diligence and my, you know, I called a lot of companies. I turned down several. I went to a few locations down in South Texas where I was wanting to try out some, you know, living around there. But, you know, while I go through the process for my wife's papers and try to be closer to the border and maybe get her up to the border too on the Mexican side. It's part of our plans, some ideas we have that we're working on. But I was like, you know what, I'll try this one more, you know, I'll look at one more ad that popped up that I saw. It was pretty fresh. I mean, it had been there for a little bit, but something inside me I didn't even recognize at the time was like, just, you know, do your job, try one more, even though I just took an opportunity, a job, which it wasn't in full swing yet because I haven't taken my drug test yet. So I had till that Monday, and this was a Friday night. And so I got on the phone. It was interesting, all the challenges I went through, like it just wouldn't go through. He was trying to call me, it wouldn't go through. So I thought that was kind of weird how it was just, so I restarted my phone and boom, it went through. And the opportunity sounded great. It's like a very well organized, strong company, small company, about 30 trucks. But he's willing to pay top if you work top. He has top equipment, has his own shop, very nice shop, people in it. So they take care of their equipment like no other. And so I was like, all right, well, let me just, you know, get back with you, because I wasn't quite ready to take off yet because he had one truck available. Well, I slept that night, watched a few videos. I woke up the next morning just realizing, you know what, I think I can do this, so I better call, you know. And so I did. And I said, hey, is that truck still available? It is. And so I said, can I book my tickets? He said, let me find out. We're just waiting on a trailer. I'll tell you Monday. Call Monday morning, right before I need to go take this drug test for this other company. And I was like, well, man, I need to know in case it doesn't work out, I can go take this drug test and get with this other company. He did. He got a hold of me first thing Monday. Yeah, it's ready. You can book your tickets. So I booked them. Long story short, even though it's already long, when I got to the company and went through my 1 to 2 days of just prepping the truck, getting all the paperwork in order, we were conversating. He was like, man, I had like 3 other people that wanted this truck, but you were the only one you were the one that pulled the trigger the quickest. And that's where I'm trying to get to, is I never even tried. I took my time. I didn't even know I was competing anybody. So that's really what confirmed it to me, that I was like, man, I think I'm supposed to be here. Like, it's like there's 3 other people on that truck. He said pretty bad. They just didn't pull the trigger. They were trying to figure out all their plans and stuff. And it's like I did the same thing, and I bet I did it all in my own just peace and timing, and wow, it all just came all together. So I'm gonna end this video. I'll try to make some more. I gotta upload these at the Wi-Fi at the truck stops. Let me take you over to the truck real quick. As I walk over to the truck, I'll just show you real quick. But I said I was gonna go on a journey this summer, me and my boy, and we're gonna write a book and invite the community to write it with us. The proof, or not the proof, the case for the Gnostic Christ. It's a spin-off of the Case for Christ by Lee Strobel. Very popular book back early 2000s or so, late 90s, 2000s, something like that. I'm over there. Not that big one. Hold up. That's oversized load. That's what I was doing right before. And my AC went out. You can go look back at my other videos. And wow, I'm really glad I documented the dark nights of my soul, my own soul, when I was in that shed at my brother and I's property. And that I plan on never really being at, hopefully. Maybe we sell it or something. That's me right there. That flatbed. And those are just wood. They're actually called mats. They make roads out of them for the oil field. I picked that up in Tennessee, and I'm taking them to Houston, and then I'll be picking up my boy. Very nice truck. I've already hauled pipe, metal sheets, did a lot of chaining, a lot of workout, man. That's one thing I'm really loving about it. I'm also drinking bone broth. That's my truck right there. Well maintained, well taken care of. Yeah, so drinking bone broth in the morning, high protein, high collagen. My wife says she basically gained her vision back. So now here we are inside. Really can't see that well, I guess, but big truck right there. But anyways, I'm gonna wrap the video up. I'll make some more videos as we go. Little by little. I'm not in a rush, in a hurry. This is gonna be an interesting year. Yeah, I deal with the pain of being human, or part human. I'm a spiritual being experiencing being human, but you still have your ego and your emotions and everything to balance out. So, but hey, through Gnosis, constantly remembering who you are. Oh wow, it's absolutely amazing. I'm constantly like excited. Like even right now, just saying that, I can just envision like who I am as light, and I feel connected to the pleroma, and like I feel it like just inside me, just like a stirring, like it's not hope, it's like excitement, it's happiness, it's joy, it's whatever. It's like that everything's all right, man. Everything's okay. No matter what, everything is okay. Because Father, the One, the Monad, we are Monad. It's full control, in full control. And we, in a sense, we have an authority to like not let nothing get us. It's like nothing, those archons don't have a right. This world doesn't have a right over us, it just doesn't. And not that we're gonna go over and like beat it down, or no, we just can rise above it, All right, I'll see you on the next one. Peace, much love, and be blessed. Thank you for watching, your time. Can hit the like, subscribe if you want to follow the journey. Bye.